morning, YouTube. Happy Easter Sunday. It's about 7 a.m. I think, Easter Sunday. Just woke up and jumped up here to do a video. Just going to give a very quick update on where I've been. It's day 5 of my TNT. And as I've mentioned, and I think it'll probably be the truth, these videos are probably going to be rather few and far between while I'm in TNT. I'll certainly do what I can, but there's some forces working against it. First and foremost, I've heard a lot of other channels when they go through TNT, the channels kind of drop off for a while, and they always come on and they say, it's been a minute since I've, put out a video. Just been so busy. And I remember thinking myself that, oh, come on, you could have done a 5-minute video. You're not that busy. And I get it now. You are that busy. We've been, other than yesterday and today, this is going to be a truck that rolls basically 10-hour shifts, and we've been doing that, roughly speaking, since the day I got picked up, which was Tuesday. I got picked up Tuesday, jumped right in the seat. Oh, before that, my parents were actually the ones that dropped me off at met him at a Love's, my trainer at a Love's near my house. He was very gracious. He even let my parents come up and jump up in the truck, which for my dad, that was a kind of a dream come true. He kind of has that, we both kind of did the corporate white collar thing as our career, but I think both of us kind of in the back of our mind thought it'd be really cool to drive a big rig, and he got to sit behind the wheel, which was really neat, and I thank my trainer for that. But yeah, after that, jumped in. I drove out of there and drove. I don't remember, but it was, we got on the truck I think about 11 o'clock, and it was nighttime. When I got off, it was a full shift. I don't know about an entire shift. It wasn't that, but pretty darn close. But since then, we tend to drive 9 to 10 hours each. And roughly speaking, it's drive 10, hopefully you stop at a place where you can run to the bathroom, come back, dive into the sleeper berth, and, he jumps up and then rinse, repeat, over and over again, which is good. That means, we're going to be moving, going to get the miles in. Just going to run through, everything's been going pretty smoothly. Places we've been, the first day we headed from Virginia down to South Carolina. From South Carolina we went to Minnesota, I believe, Minnesota to Kansas, and then Kansas across like Indiana and Ohio, which is where we are now. And yesterday we came into Ohio on Friday evening, and my trainer lives near where we are right now. This was not a real planned thing, but I think he had talked to his wife, and we happened to be on a load that was going past his house, And since it's a holiday week, he was explaining he didn't ask for a load with a lot of time on it, but since it's a holiday weekend, I guess the receiver is closed for a day or two, so it's a load that has a lot of time. So he ended up taking basically Saturday and Sunday with his family, which is great. We've been going quickly, and I don't mind. A day or two isn't gonna kill me either way. And this has been nice. It's a nice truck stop that we're at. Has a Denny's, so I've had a couple good meals. As far as food during TNT, maybe other people manage it a lot better, but it's been so hectic and you're so exhausted that basically, after my 10-hour shift, I did bring a bunch of groceries, but it's literally just kind of grab a handful or two of something, shove it down, and then collapse. I hadn't been eating much of anything. It's been like a couple handfuls of mixed nuts. One meal was just me eating a couple pieces of bread, just some wheat bread. So it's not the healthiest thing, it's Denny's, but it was nice to be able to sit at a table and eat a decent meal. I had the country fried steak and eggs, which is one of my favorite breakfasts, so very good. What else can I tell you? A bunch of firsts. I'm rolling in TNT, so that I'm getting a lot of experience in new things. I'll try to think of a few things. First and foremost, There was one night where we did sleep at the same time, so I was up in the top bunk, which is usual for almost all trainees. I got kind of spoiled when I was with Eric. I've mentioned this in the past. He when he wasn't training, was a team driver with his wife and dog. And his wife and dog always had the bottom bunk, and he always had the top. And he told me he just got so he really liked the top bunk. So during my PSD training, I was spoiled and was able to have the bottom bunk. Not so now, and I wasn't expecting that. And no, anybody coming out here shouldn't either. You're probably going to have the top bunk. But in TNT, it's going to be rare if it's a truck that keeps on rolling like this one. So one night, took a little getting used to. It's a little smaller up there. And you know, again, you're sleeping with all your luggage, so pack light. But got through it. It was fine. What can I say? Sleeping on a moving truck. It seems to be kind of a learned thing. You know, I've heard people coming out in TNT and saying, you know, they go the whole time and just can't seem to figure out how to fall asleep, you know, on a rolling truck. You know, I was able to sleep at least some every night that he was driving. I seem to be getting better. The last one, I slept almost straight through. You know, I don't think it'll ever be uninterrupted because, I mean, these trucks, man, you feel every bump, and the bigger bumps, man, sometimes it feels like this whole thing launches in the air. So it will be interrupted, but I think the trick is not to sleep uninterrupted. It's to be able to fall back asleep quickly, and I seem to be getting better at that. Other firsts, let's see. Different types of weather. I went through St. Louis during just a gully washer of a thunderstorm and with wind. I haven't gone through anything yet that I would call extreme, but I've hit different types of, you know, weather and traffic and things like that. I've been in heavy traffic. I've been in Kansas, which is my favorite state to drive through so far of the ones we've been in. It was just 300 miles straight road. I mean, didn't waver a bit, and literally nothing for 20 miles in every direction. But that was beautiful. You know, it was grasslands. It was basically, if you think of the beginning of Wizard of Oz, it was that for the whole day. Very little traffic. Really enjoyed that drive. That was really great. I'm sure I'm going to see some great things out west, and maybe my favorite state will change. It probably will, but so far, Kansas has been the best drive. I enjoyed that a lot. I've been through this. I'm not going to portray this as something major. I did go through a little snow, sleet type stuff for a very short period of time. It wasn't really accumulating on the road, but it was a first. I said traffic. Been through several cities. Other firsts. Well, shippers and receivers, I would say, and I guess I'll switch over to that. In TNT, things get, I'll say, comfortable kind of quickly. You'll always have to be alert driving. That's no doubt, you know, but it doesn't have to be so tense, and that's what I kind of feel, especially with just the straight driving in the different scenarios. Every time you do something twice, it gets exponentially better and easier, to the point where I'm eager to drive. You know, in PSD, I think, you know, if you're like me, imagine there's some element of, you know, you're driving on the road, you get your trainer right here, and you're, you know, trying to put on a brave face and like, you know, oh, I got this. I'm, you know, I could have been doing this forever. You know, I'm not nervous at all, but inside you're, oh my god, you know. You know, there's an element of that when you first start. That part has gone away. I'm every bit as alert, but the tenseness, you can be alert and tense, or alert and relaxed, comfortable, and that seems to be making a change. I still do deal with, I think it might be posture. I might get a lumbar support thing. I think the seat does it. I got to figure that out. He's never used it, and I've been fumbling back here trying to figure out what it was, so might check that out today. I tend to get kind of tight in the neck, and I got this knot, like a muscle knot right at the base of the scapula that kind of kicks in soon after starting driving and it eventually does seem to work itself out, but the neck is always really tight by the end. So those are a couple things to hopefully maybe it's just new muscles and they'll relax after a while, and as I get less tense, which I feel pretty good with the driving. I jump in the seat. I'm kind of raring to go for the drive. The things that are still kind of anxiety provoking, I would say the shippers and receivers. It's just a lot to learn, and maybe it's my close to 50-year-old brain. It gets a little overwhelming. We went to I think it was a Tyson plant, and and as he should, he's having me do these things. He would hand me the paperwork, say take it into the desk, and if you're jumping into my mind, it's like, oh my God, she's going to ask me something that I'm not going to have the answer to. I'm going to have to run back out to him, and it didn't happen that way. It worked pretty good, but it's kind of at least feels like a very hectic pace, especially when he's trying to teach you new things, coupling a trailer, dropping a trailer, coupling a trailer, sliding the tandems, all this. He has me hands-on working on it, which is absolutely great, and I'm glad it's the way we're doing things. But it does get a little frantic, it's just so much incoming, and maybe a younger brain would be able to process that a lot better. But for some reason, that's the part that we get close to a shipper receiver. I do, if I'm being honest, I get a little twinge of anxiety, I would say, because and there's, at least at the Tysons, there's a scale, with bars, and there's not a lot of room to come around to make sure your back tires get within those two rails. I had a little difficulty there. Backing, not to rehash the PSD experience, but I did say, leading up to the CDL, didn't do so well on the alley dock. That took me a little longer. In PSD, I kind of breezed through most of everything except the alley dock, and that gave me a little trouble. But I would say either way, I think most of you will find, whether you breeze through it all, that's really not what you experience out here on the road much. Those situations, especially the alley dock, both my trainers have said that you almost never have to do a 90-degree alley dock. It's usually the kind where you pull up next to the row of trucks or trailers, and then you go just past it and you do the little S curve to the right. More of a 45-degree, I guess, is more the usual. But I have to say that I haven't had a lot of experience backing. This truck hardly ever stops, so a lot of the times it's been basically just kind of pulling over to the curb, a rest area or something, and we're maybe running go to the bathroom, but basically it's just switching seats and rolling. What was I saying? Backing, yeah. So I don't feel great about my backing and parking skills, but it'll come. We'll be, every time we roll into, and I'm driving, if we're rolling into a rest stop, he's having me actually do it. But I'm finding it's a lot different from PSD. A lot of the training style and the things are different from PSD. I'm learning, PSD and orientation are really geared for two things: teaching you, drilling it into your head, safety, and and learning exactly what you need to know for that CDL test. Out here, you're learning the real world and the job. So some of the things are not exactly the same. There's the kind of laboratory cleansed version that you get in PSD. When you get out here, it's a little different, I think. Some of those things are not really the reality, so I'm learning that too. But other than that, everything's been going great. This has been kind of nice. I got a couple days here at this truck stop, and that's a first. I've never had a truck to myself for a little while, so I've kind of gotten a little bit of the feel of what solo life on a truck's going to be, which I'll rarely, I guess on 34s I'll have this kind of time, but it's been nice. I'm going to enjoy whatever comes my way, but I'm sure from here on out we're going to be rolling constantly. So I think it'll feel like forever while I'm in it, but I have a feeling when I'm done with TNT, looking back, it's going to feel like a blink of an eye. So I think I'll call it there, guys. Again, happy Easter. Bear with me. I will try to put out videos when I can. I've mentioned my trainer has not said I can't do videos or anything like that, but he's not a YouTuber. He's not really into that world. He watches a little bit of videos here and there. He's not a big fan, to be honest. But he knows I have a channel. We've had that talk, and to his credit, he said you can do whatever you want. But it's just kind of it's a respect. It's kind of a weird thing. I'm going to respect that. I'm here 100% just to get through TNT. I will bring you along for the ride as much as I can, but I'm just going to kind of respect that space. I won't be including him in the videos or the truck. We may have another conversation down the road where maybe that will relax him. It's possible he may even want to jump in and maybe do an interview. So, but for now, I will just say, bear with me. It may be few and far between, but I wanted to get on here and let you know I'm still alive. It's day 5. It's a little, TNT, there's no way of getting around it. It's a little nerve-wracking, but it's also fun, and you very quickly learn to relax, and you're starting to, it becomes kind of a norm, driving down the road, things like that. It's the things in PSD that are still kind of making you nervous. A lot of that will go away very quickly. So again, I will keep you posted when I can. You guys have a terrific Easter, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.